Knives are the pinnacle of CS2 skins. Let's be real, you either already have one or you want one. But there's a massive issue with them. They're incredibly expensive. For example, this Talon Knife Tiger Tooth, which is my favorite knife, is worth over $600. But what if I told you that you could get a Talon Tiger Tooth for $50 and arguably it's even better than one of the $600 ones?
Legends gleaming bright, TECHSAVVY tag, unmatched light. Summoned steel, forged by fire, unrelenting with thy wire.
Today I teamed up with Knifey.gg and they sent over 5 real-life knives for me to unbox, and I actually have no idea what 3 of these 5 are, so enjoy this little IRL case opening. Not only did they hook me up with some free knives to review, but they're also giving you guys a 10% discount on anything on the website if you use the code TECHSAVVY at checkout. Here we go, guys. We have the 5 cases. Dude, I'm so excited to open these. It does say what the knife is. We have a pair of shadow daggers, we have a huntsman knife, a talon knife, a gut knife, and a falchion knife. And I do know what the falchion knife and the talon knife is, but I don't know what the rest are. So let's start with the shadow daggers here. It has this very satisfying, shiny, knifey logo. It does have the shadow daggers, and you know, it does say what it is. So let's open it. It kind of slides open, and there we go. We do actually get a kind of cool microfiber cloth, and it has like a knife imprint pattern thing on it. But of course, this is what we came here for. The shadow daggers. Oh yeah. They're kind of big. They're really nice though. It's not sharp. This one's the dull version, of course, for safety reasons. But look at that. Isn't that cool? And there we go, the shadow daggers. So now you can sort of inspect it, of course. And this is not going to do much damage. It's completely dull, as you can see. I'm not cutting my finger, so no safety issues here. But yeah, these are pretty cool. But let's go on to the rest. Next, I'm going to open the Talon knife because that's the other knife, the only other knife that I know what the finish is. So this is a Talon Knife Tiger Tooth, and oh my gosh. Again, we get the little microfiber cloth. Look at that. This is ginormous. Look how big that is. Look at the blade. This one is actually sharp, so I'm not gonna try to cut my finger. It's not gonna like replace your kitchen knife, but it's sharp enough. So there we go. It has a name tag. This one has TECHSAVVY as the name tag. You can get that as an option. And look at that. Isn't that cool? This is the play side. We have the inspect side. I'm not gonna try to flip it, bro. I would cut myself so bad. But yeah, that's the Talon Knife Tiger Tooth. That is definitely my favorite so far. Now, these real-life knives are really cool, but if you want to use them in-game, then you have to get actual CS2 knives. And what better place to do that than today's sponsor, SkinsMonkey. This video was made possible by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is an instant trading site, and trading your skins to different ones is as simple as selecting the skins you want to get rid of, selecting the skins you want, and hitting trade. If you don't quite have enough funds, you can top up your balance with a 35% deposit bonus with my code TECHSAVVY. Additionally, if you're a first-time user, you get a free $5 to use in your first trade. They also don't charge any overpay for good floats, so if you need trade-up inputs, SkinsMonkey is a great place to get them. And not only that, but they're always running multiple giveaways, so even if you don't have any skins to trade, there's something here for you to check out. SkinsMonkey is the only reason I'm able to do such crazy videos as this one, so if you want to support the channel, or if you just want to claim your free $5, go check them out, link in the description. I think I'm gonna go for the falchion knife next. Again, I don't know what the finish is on this, so I guess we'll find out what it is. What is it? Oh, okay, it's the Dopplers. This says $10, so that's a tribute to my $10 to a knife series. And it does open, and oh my goodness, look at how ginormous that is. Is it sharp? This one is also sharp. Look at how big that is. I mean, I don't know if you can kind of gauge how big it is. Look at it compared to my hands. Whoa, it looks really cool. I think this is actually what is known as a black pearl. To me, it looks more like a phase something. It has a mix of this pink and dark blue. So yeah, it's really nice, and I think
Yeah, if I click this button here, that's the closing mechanism. So it should be locked. Yeah, I can't close it unless I click this button. But yeah, there we go. That's the falchion knife. That's also really cool. Falchion knife Doppler. Next, I'll go for the gut, and the last one's gonna be the huntsman. So what is it gonna be? It is the gut knife knight, I think. Yeah, this is a really cool finish. This also seems to be sharp. Yeah, I think this is what they call the gut knife knight. It's not exactly what is in game, at least for the knight finish, but that's really cool. It has this perfectly black blade, and I think this one's also sharp. Yeah, this one's also sharp. So yeah, that's the gut knife. You can see the beautiful wooden handle. This one came with an empty name tag. So yeah, gut knife feels really solid in your hand. And yeah, this could definitely cut some things. This part here is completely dull. That's not gonna cut you, so you don't have to worry about that. And finally, we have the huntsman knife. This I'm excited for. This one is a really cool one. What is it gonna be? It's the Huntsman Autotronic. Low-key, I was hoping for that. But again, I didn't know what this was until literally just now. Let's take it out. Oh my goodness. This one is also dull, so again, this is not gonna cut much. But look at that finish. It's got the red. The handle has a really satisfying 3D texture. It's got so much grip. It's so chunky. Like, look at how thick that is. This could do some damage, but of course, again, this is dull, so this isn't gonna do some damage. But look at that, that's so cool, man.
Now, I realized that when I was opening them, I was a little carried away and I didn't really show a good close look of all of these knives. So here we are. This is the Talon knife. The tiger tooth pattern is done by laser engraving in the titanium plated surface. And overall, the blade on this guy just looks super cool. It's super big and it's super ferocious. It's crazy shiny. It literally looks golden. And again, that massive curved blade is actually sharp on this guy. And I know this is incredibly obvious, but do not try to recreate any of the animations in game. These are actually sharp. You will hurt yourself, so be careful. They're meant to be display pieces. And obviously, again, it goes without saying, but make sure that anything that you do complies with any rules or regulations wherever you live. It feels super nice in your hands. It feels a little bit oversized. As you can see, the handle is much larger than my hands, but to be honest, that's the same way in game. And when you're holding on to them, you can just feel how high quality these things are. Not gonna lie, I kind of expected them to be just low quality knives, but these are quite the opposite. You can also get a personalized engraved name tag. You can have it say pretty much anything that you want. And although none of my knives are stat tracked, you can actually get a stat track engraving where again, you get to pick your own number. The shadow daggers that I have here are actually called vanilla shadow daggers, and while they look different than what we have in game, in my opinion, this IRL brushed silver look to it is even better. The whole thing is just one solid piece of metal, and the build quality feels amazing. It feels really solid in your hands, and it also has this cool little laser engraved rook thing, just like in the game. Next up, we have the falchion knife Doppler, which Knifey calls the Black Pearl, but in my opinion, it looks a lot more like a Phase 1 Doppler. While the Doppler finish is obviously not gonna look as crazy as in the game, we can't really have that depth feeling with the smoke patterns and the crazy reflectivity in real life, but it still looks pretty solid. It's very nice and colorful, and of course, this is actually an openable and closable knife. And that mechanism is so satisfying. Just listen to that click. I love the two bare metal pieces near the middle of the knife and the end of the knife. This also has a very similar finish to the shadow daggers, so that silvery brushed steel look. And I think you're supposed to be able to open this with one hand, and while I can do it, it's not the most convenient thing in the world. This also feels incredibly oversized, but if you look in game, it's actually fairly accurate comparing the proportions. Again, please don't try doing the rare animation. Next up, we have the gut knife knight, and in my opinion, this version is much better than what we have in game for the knight finish. The blade is completely black, yet the wooden handle still has that reddish color, and by the way, yes, this is real wood. You can see the wood grain. This one also feels incredibly solid in your hands. I feel like a real hunter holding one of these. And finally, we have the Huntsman Knife Autotronic. This one definitely feels the most manly, and even though all of them have felt pretty solid so far, this one definitely feels the most solid by far. And because this guy's not sharp, I'm not afraid that it'll hurt me. That being said, said, it's still not a toy, so don't play around with it. The handle is really nice and grippy. It's got this lined texture on it that's very satisfying to hold on to, and the blade is painted very nicely. It looks exactly like what I'd expect a Huntsman knife autotronic to look like in real life. Now, if you want to pick these guys up, then head over to the link in the description to knifey.gg and check out their massive selection of CS2 knives. Not only do they have all the most popular and common ones, but they also have knives that are not in the game yet, such as the classic knife or the skeleton knife lore. So once again, massive thank you to knifey.gg for sending these knives over for me to review. Thank you to Skinsmonkey for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. And now I'm gonna go stare at my shiny new real life Talon Tiger Tooth for many hours.